In today's video, we're going to be talking about Nyjah Huston's hack for kickflips. Nyjah Huston has a really good technique for getting really consistent kickflips. If you're trying to learn kickflips or you're trying to get your kickflips a lot more consistent or more controlled, this video is going to help you out a ton.
Just a quick heads up, this type of kickflip is not for everybody. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a word of caution so that this hack doesn't ultimately end up hurting your kickflips. So make sure you watch until the end.
So I'll play the clip of Nyjah Huston talking about his hack for kickflips on the 9 Club.
I flick into stuff with my foot pretty far off the board, and it's a really small, it's like a small, quick, precise kickflip. That's one of the main reasons I've had so much success in flipping into shit in general, and being so consistent with it is because the way I kickflip, it's just very consistent. It's every time it's the same flick, where I feel like a lot of people, most people flick with their board, with their foot more on the board. So there's more chance of something kind of catching wrong.
So basically Nyjah Huston has a really unique foot setup for kickflips, similar to how you would if you were learning as a kid, where you really hang your foot off a lot. What's really good about this foot position is not a lot can actually go wrong with it. From having his foot right here underneath the bolts, he almost just needs to flick straight forward off the corner of the nose. It's really simple, almost foolproof, but 9 times out of 10, most people that skate with this foot position, they're not actually doing their kickflips like Nyjah Huston. What they're doing is they're putting their foot right here, but then they're flicking off to the side of the board. If you watch Nyjah Huston's flick, he flicks right off the corner. He even says it in this trick tip.
Don't kick off the side right here, kick off this edge. You really want to aim for that corner right there, and it really gives it that good flick.
Most people with this kickflip foot position end up having really mobbed or ugly kickflips, but because he moves from here to the corner, his kickflips actually end up looking really nice. So today I'm going to be testing out that foot positioning and flicking off the corner. Okay, so here's test number 1. Hang the heel off and then flick off the corner. It feels really weird hanging my heel that much, but it does definitely simplify it. I mean, from there it's pretty much just an ollie. You just, it's a very fast flick. Almost too fast for me, I'm not used to it. Hang the heel. Yeah, I'm over flipping. So where a lot of people go wrong with this is when they put their foot this far off, it just ends up flicking really fast and low. But that's where Nyjah Huston's tip of flicking off that front corner really comes into play. If you don't get that front corner, it's not gonna level out. So that's my goal for today, to use this flick position, but also figure out how to kickflip high with it like Nyjah does. A little bit better. That was feeling a lot better. It's really mentally hard for me to not flick off to the right and just flick straight through the nose. That's the main thing I feel people get wrong with this foot position. I don't think these are the best looking kickflips or best feeling kickflips in my opinion, but I can say they are the flick is really consistent. Yeah, you just flick forward and you're good. So now that we've done a few of those just on flat ground, I want to try some up the Euro and focus on a different aspect of Nyjah Huston's kickflips, which is his ability to catch with both feet. So if you see his kickflips, he catches with the back foot, but he can get that front foot on the board before he comes down to the ground. And that shows a lot of control and allows him to be able to kickflip into things and kickflip off things. So that's what I want to try and do, is up the Euro, kickflip up to the top and get both feet on the board before it comes down to the ground. All right, one concern with this foot position is going fast with your heel hanging off. That does feel very strange. Just feels like it always wants to pull to the right. All right, I'm gonna try and flick this one straight forward, see if I can get a little bit more height. There we go. All right, so now that we're getting the height, let's see if we can get both feet on. Kind of. Flick straight and catch it with both feet. My problem is when I flick, I catch and kick it to the ground. I need to gently bring it down. Get it, both feet. Hang the heel, flick straight. Oh, still back foot. I don't just want a back foot catch, I want a back foot then front foot. I can look at my board though and see that the shoe marks are going off the front more than the side, which is what we want. This is the one. Trying to get one like very compact and controlled like Nyjah's. Oh, man. It seems like as well, because you're flicking straight forward, there's not like much pressure or force going like outwards. It's like you push here and it's almost like it wants to like varial on you. Okay, to end it out, we're just gonna do some kickflips off this ledge. Same goal, try and get both feet back on the board before we land. There we go. Hang the heel. Probably worse. It's such a fast flick, but it's not very satisfying. I mean, I can see the consistency thing, especially with tighter trucks. Still landing back foot first. Get one more. Last one for real. My toe was hanging off on the landing. We'll try one more, but that was the catch I want.
Alright guys, so now that I've spent an entire session testing Nyjah Huston's kickflip hack, the question is, would I recommend it for you? And the answer to that question is really a two-parter. It's yes and no, because yes, it does definitely make your kickflips more consistent, and yes, thinking about kickflipping off the corner of the nose is like really helpful, and it's really simple when you already have your foot kind of lined up right behind the corner of the nose. All you got to do is flick forward. It does provide probably more consistency than my normal kickflips. However, the reason I would say no is because that foot position is so extreme with your foot hanging so far off the board. If you're somebody like me that skates looser trucks, that's gonna cause problems when you're riding. You can see as I was riding up to the Euro with a little bit of speed, I was almost getting like speed wobbles because my heel was wanting to like put pressure on the right side of my board, and so I was almost like fighting the board as it was wanting to pull to the right. So I would say it's something that's like worth your time to like test out for a day. I definitely think it benefited me like as far as getting the feeling of like really flicking off the corner. I think that's actually gonna help my regular kickflips to focus on like flicking straight forward like that more than I already do. However, I feel like this technique is really the most beneficial if you're like a beginner or you're somebody that skates with tight trucks. I feel like this is a really good, simple way to start kickflipping, but maybe as you skate longer and you become somebody that likes looser trucks and you like that mobility, you are gonna have to learn to adjust your kickflips to put your foot more in the center of the board. That way you can actually ride your board in kickflip position and you're not just like constantly trying to fight speed wobbles while you're setting up for a kickflip. This is the second time that I've experimented with Nyjah Huston's kickflip technique, and I definitely feel like this time I got a lot more out of it. I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest takeaway is just focusing on flicking straight forward, because normally, because my foot is in the center of the board, I flick off to the side, and with Nyjah Huston's foot kickflip position, if I flicked off to the side, I would air flick every time. So I basically was getting used to flicking in a whole completely different new direction than I normally flick, and I feel like flicking more straightforward will actually help me flick my regular kickflips better. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to test that today, but I will definitely be testing that in a different session. But I hope this video helps some of you guys. If it does, if you like these videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, make every single day a Friday. Shout out to everybody that's buying Friday gear. All the Friday gear is underneath this video. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.